Hi guys, welcome to tonight's session. Hope our day went fine. Hi Anita. Hi John.
Hi, Amaka. Hi, John.
Yeah, hi. Hi everyone. How are we doing?
Hey,
We're
John.
fine, and
Hi
you?
Anita. Hi, I'm doing
Oh,
good.
I can't hear John.
Can you hear
All
me?
right. Yes,
Can you
I
hear me?
can hear you. Anita, maybe that's a network issue, but I can hear him.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
Anita, can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yes, I can hear you, but I can't hear John.
I feel that's a network issue though. Well, you
Yeah, it
get
should
to
be
hear.
okay.
Maybe you should leave the caller and
Yeah.
join back. I can hear him.
Yeah, let me do
Okay,
that.
so all right. So welcome. All right then. So welcome everyone to tonight's event. This is Better Copper's Tech Day, and it promises to be exciting and fun alongside. So I'll just give a brief rundown on what Better Copper is about. So Better Copper is an edtech platform dedicated to turning Africa into a digital village. When I say digital village, I mean that we're dedicated to educating youths, those coming out of school, entry level workers, students, and those who just started out in their careers, say between 0 to 5 years, about tech and giving them the basic digital skills they need, basic computer skills, as well as the core tech skills. So tonight would be talking about scaling career opportunities with technology. And first off, before I go ahead to introduce the speakers on the stage as well as let them speak, if you are on the call, please go ahead to drop hi. Let us know where you're connecting from. I think we can start from there as well. So please go ahead and drop a message in the chat session. Okay. I can see some people on the call, so go ahead and drop a message in the chat. Let's do that quickly. So while that is being done, I'll go ahead to introduce the speakers. So here on the call with me, I have John. John happens to be a product manager at Prime Beat. He also has spent over a decade in the tech industry. More, so we'll get to do more of knowing John while we're on the call today because I believe he has a lot to share with us. And also we have Anita, digital brand strategist. She has been in this field for a while now, and she's here to pass a lot of information. So hi John, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Hi everyone. I trust we're doing good. And can you hear me? I think I have some feedback.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good, good, good. So, um, what would you want me to say about myself? Because there's a lot to say. But
Okay.
yeah,
So you can
yeah, just
start off by, let's
yeah.
say, telling us about yourself and probably how you got into tech or how you
Okay,
started out your journey.
okay, fantastic. So, how I got into tech? I think I got into tech by building, or no, not building. Well, I'll say it's building because then creating a multiplication table in DOS was complex, and this is when we were still using DOS systems. If you were born in the 2000s, you're likely not going to know about that unless you read about it. But yeah, and this was as a very young boy. I had the privilege to do that, and I think tech just stuck with me from that point. I'm like, what makes this thing tick? I want to know about it and I want to start learning. It took me a while to be able to get someone to teach me about building technologies, but eventually, when I found somebody, I was so passionate about it and taught as many people as I could. Um, yeah, including my wife now, who we were in the university together, and we've both been in the tech field. I started out as an engineer, moved into product management almost quickly. My wife also went on to be an engineer, worked in product management, and yeah, we've been passionate about building solutions. I think the most important thing for us was helping contribute to making the world a better place, just one tech solution at a time. So it was, yeah, whenever we found ourselves, we
Wow.
did our best to use tech, as a tool for improving the quality of service, the quality of product, and the quality of the business. So that's been my journey in a short. Yeah. um, my first lines of code, wrote them in 2005, and I think since then I've not turned back from, yeah, building technology.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's a lot. I like your story because it's actually very interesting creating products and having a family of techies. So that's nice. Thank you so much for that, John. So
Yeah.
Anita, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Thank you.
All right. So Anita, you can go ahead to tell us how you got into tech, a brief background about yourself as well.
Hi, my name is Anita.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Because I can hear you fine. Oh, sounds good. Yeah,
Yes, I
my
can
name is
hear
Anita.
you. Yes, I can hear you clearly.
I'm Anita. I am uh, a lot of things. I do a lot of things. I started into tech as a social media manager. I went into social media marketing. I did front end web development. I'm getting into I'm getting into product management, which is turning out to be like my major passion. Because coming from a psychology background, I felt like everything I did in the tech space, like I did a course here, I did a course there, and nothing seemed to be in my fit. And I felt like I was abandoning my psychology degree because I graduated with psychology in 2015, did some social work with children living on the streets up to around 2017. And I hadn't used like that psychology knowledge because I went into the social media management and marketing space and digital marketing around 2020 during the pandemic. So since then, I felt like I had abandoned my profession, and I'm glad that I found product management, which is going to be the best way to channel my everything I learned through psychology. I think this is going to be like the best way to put my current skills and my degree to use because I feel like I'll be dusting it off and doing some good work. So I'm really excited, especially to be here and sharing with the new techies because I'm kind of a techie newbie. I wrote my first line of code in May 2020, 2021. Yeah, 2022, May 2022. That's when I wrote my first line of code, and here we are today. Versus 2005. Wow. Wow, John, you're an inspiration. I want to be like you when I grow up.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
Yeah, it is. It is really. Yeah.
Yeah, it is really. So we have some questions that were sent in, and we're going to use this to move on to the event because I think the best way to talk more about scaling our careers through technology is basically about talking around things where we get to merge how we merge our careers with technology and how we from there. So I'll go on to
Yeah.
ask John this particular question. So I'm starting with, not all students are naturally inclined towards technology. So how can educators encourage these students to develop an interest in tech related skills? Let's see, looking from our background here in Africa and knowing where we are coming from, basically.
Okay. Um, so
John, can you hear
use
me?
yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So I'm going to use an example of a product now defunct that we worked on between. I joined in 2015 and we worked on Spinlet. Spinlet was the first streaming service that launched in Africa, launched in 2012. I joined the team to lead product efforts in 2015, and we ran on to until 2020 when we had to put the business in administration because we had literally run out of funding and there was no new way to fund and sustainably compete with new products coming into the market at that point. But the journey is the interesting part, and I believe that we
Okay.
have people from different walks of life here on the call. You need to understand that, yeah,
Yes.
while I mentioned that I wrote code, or whenever the need arises, still today I'm still able to do that. It's not the only way to be in tech. Yeah. To be in tech, you just have to be a curious person and you can practice your profession. Yes. So say you were um, trained as an accountant. Yeah. You were trained as a psychologist like Anita. Yeah. You can practice your craft in tech.
Yeah.
But the question you need to ask yourself is, am I curious enough to figure out where my career aligns with technology? That's one way. The second way is that you might find out, like Anita too, that I've read psychology, but I have a passion for solving problems. Yeah. The tech field is just a field where you solve problems. That's, if you ask me in just a few words to explain it, it's just a space for solving problems. And from every walk of life, you have learned the capacity, or you have gained. That's what training in the university or in the polytechnics or any type of higher institution, that's what the training should help you do. Now, I'm not going to speak to the subject of our current crop of lecturers doing their job as they should do. To, that's a different subject and rabbit hole to get into. But one thing you just need to understand is the way the curriculum of the universities and the higher institutions have been designed is to help you gain the capacity to solve problems. Now, if you haven't learned sufficiently how to, dimension a problem, think about a problem, just start with your own current condition and ask yourself, what am I not satisfied with in where I am today? And what can I do differently to make myself a little more satisfied? Now, your journey into problem solving starts from that basic, just two questions I've asked. What am I not satisfied with? What can I do to change the situation that I'm not satisfied with? Maybe the third one is, how can I measure satisfaction? So you have just basic questions to ask yourself. Now, if you continue to practice this, you continue to get better at the art of problem solving. But you just need to be a problem solver, and then you're able to learn a skill. So your skill might be as a user experience designer. Yeah, your skill might be as a user interaction designer. Now, so after this call or during this call, if you have the chance, I don't want you to be distracted. You could just Google simply, as in what are the different career options that I have in technology. A lot that's within technology. That's one. Then outside technology, every technology business needs an accountant. Every technology business needs an operations person. Every technology person needs a facility manager. The bigger the tech firm, the more sites they have, you know, every technology company needs a lawyer. As in 30% of my team in Spinlet then were lawyers. Yeah. So now, but how did we determine which lawyer we hire? We determined lawyers by asking the question: are they inherently problem solvers? Are they passionate about asking questions? Are they passionate about learning? So those things are the things. Now, I said two things: you can stay in your career line but still be in tech. Yeah. And you can also decide that, well, I I want to be involved in tech beyond my career line. Then you can actually go and learn a skill, in technology. And the skills don't have to be engineering skills. Yeah, there are a lot of other skills that you can learn outside technology. So yes, what you need to pay attention to is just, am I a problem solver? That's the question. If you ask me that, I would ask you, are you a problem solver? If you're a problem solver, then figure out whether you want to stay in your lane but still be involved in tech. Then figure out how to connect what your lane is. So an idea for a lawyer, if a lawyer might be here, is learn about IP. Yeah, that's intellectual property, because it is core business that technology companies need. We file patents, we file copyrights, and we need people who understand it. You might also learn about business law. What do tech businesses need, especially startups. You want to learn about that, and you can specialize in that, and you'll be relevant to any technology company. In finance, you want to learn how startups raise fund. You want to learn how to, how to be valuable in that space. So these are some ideas, yeah, that you can consider. And if you want to learn new tech, just Google. Yeah. If I met Anita when she came out of school as a psychologist, I would have actually told her very quickly, if you wanted to be in tech, do product management. It's really a simple thing. They learn about the psychology of humans in products. What we do is understand how people interact with products, how they want to interact with products, what would be valuable to them. So those kind of things are there. There are a number of professions that help you position you properly for tech. A lot of the guys in the sciences will do so. You'll find medical doctors easily transitioning um, into into product management or even engineering. You'll find people who study mathematics and statistics, transition easily into engineering. So yeah, if you're in sciences, you have a little edge. But yeah, guys who are in the arts and who are in the creative space, you can also easily transition. Yeah, I think that would be it for me on that, Amaka.
All right. Thank you so much, John, for that. So that leads me to a particular question. Probably Anita, you can help me out with this. So it's more like, so as someone new to the tech field, what were your first steps? What did you take when integrating technology skills into a non-technical career? Hello, Anita.
Yes, I can hear you. I think the first step, I did these things wrongly. I'll admit that. But now, having gotten to this point, I I know what to do right this time. So I'm able to guide the people in the right direction. And I think the first step should be self-assessment. Because if I had done that at the beginning, I think I would have saved myself 1 year, you know? Because I went into a program that
Yeah.
was teaching me things that were new to me. I hadn't heard about coding, except it had to do with medicine. So I was new to tech, as I didn't know anything. So it was quite a struggle. And I would feel frustrated because I was learning things I didn't know. And it was really a battle for me from at the beginning. But then I started to learn, and I knew that I had to change things around after some time. So yeah, self assessment is very important. You do your research, right? Like John said, you look at your career program you're doing right now, and you see how you can turn that into something techy, or you decide what field you want to join. In fact, what you can do, look at yourself, look at the skills you have, and Google job descriptions of some of these career people in tech, and see where you fit best with your skill set, with your knowledge base, and then you're able to make the right decision. The next thing would be looking at your course, for example. Like if you did mechanical engineering, some sort of engineering, like John said, tech is very easy for you. Like just jump in and you're good to go. Learn to code. Python is a very good language to start with if you're a beginner. If you're into design, but then UI UX is not for you, front end web development, some HTML, some CSS, some JavaScript, and something about front end web development that really excited me when I was doing it was the instant feedback when you put your HTML and CSS together and you see it like come live on the next page. You're like, wow, like it's super exciting. And that is really brilliant when you learn to code and see results and you practice regularly, because like they call them languages, C, Python, JavaScript, they all come naturally to people who practice them, just like any language. If you learned English and never spoke it for 10 years, chances are you'll forget the common important things in a language like English. Start with basics. Write your first line, hello world. Celebrate that with no errors. You're good to go. And another, like the most important thing is the most important thing with this is start with what you know. For example, if you know, like me, I came from a social media management field. So digital marketing was like, I'm building on what I already know. So I'm getting into search engine, things like search engine optimization, things like Google Analytics. Like I've already done my analytics from LinkedIn, for example, or from Facebook Business, for example, or um, from Instagram. So I am able to understand the analytics from Google when I'm looking at my accounts, when I'm looking at my campaigns and how they did. Like I'm just building on what I already know. So it's really, really important to first see, what do I know? What am I good at? And then work on that. Get someone to mentor you. Ask as many questions as you can. ChatGPT is your friend. For those who think that AI is going to take over, well, you might as well be on their side. ChatGPT is your friend. Set goals and finish what you start. I think that is the, like, if you forget everything today, if you start a project, finish it. I'm even speaking to myself. If you start a project, if you start an online course, if you start anything you start, make sure it is small enough that you can finish it. So start small, build on what you learn, and you'll be good to
All
go.
right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Anita. Thank you. Thank you. So start small and build on what you know. Okay, moving on. John, this is for you. What strategies do you recommend for staying updated with the ever-changing technological landscape, especially for professionals in the non-tech field?
Strategies. Um, I don't know any strategy. I
Steps.
know only one action. Keep learning. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep learning. It's it's not, you don't need you don't need 4 steps, you don't need 5 steps, you need 1 step. Learn. And I tell you a story to buttress it. I learned Visual Basic. That was the first coding, that was the first language that I used to build software. And Visual Basic at the time was what Microsoft had used to build most of the solutions that were in the market. It was in iterations. So Visual Basic. Then I moved on to C, and then you had C Sharp. So now you can imagine that all of these languages, and one good thing about technology is that it always has a foundation. So Anita mentioned Python. Visual Basic and object-oriented languages built on this basic form of coding. The logic is really understanding what logic is. Because once you cross that first barrier of overcoming whatever fear you might have about doing something that you never learned how to do, or you did not know how to do, or you can't navigate, once you get past it, then consistently staying up to date is the next thing. So till today, I keep coding. I keep learning. Yeah. So while I've stopped coding, I keep learning. By the time the React natives and the different Reacts came out, went up to look into them. What's this language? What's it about? How can I build a basic logic, with it? Then Node.js, the different types of languages that exist today, at least the most popular ones that I would interact with engineers on and about, are things that I continued to learn. As different practices came out, my journey into product management came from frustration that I was building softwares that customers were not using. I had internal customers. I was working in an internal firm that had an IT division that would build software for the business. Business had asked that we build the software. So we're doing this thing that business asked for. And you said, and no one wants to use it. I had to go research. Why? And how do you get people to use your software? Now, after spending days looking into it, I realized that there was a field that was just coming up at that time, around 2011, called product management. And big businesses had used this field, to shorten the time of development. That was one. And also get engagement from customers. And I started learning about it and asked for the opportunity in my organization then to double. So I was working as a software developer, and I was also going to be working as a product manager at the time. And within 4 weeks, after the struggle of building and not getting traction in 4 months, after 4 weeks, we began to see significant change. My boss wouldn't allow me go back to only coding because you're seeing results. That's what Anita talked about. The exciting thing about technology is that you see results. When you do the smallest work, you do a piece of work, you get significant result. It gives you gratification. It makes you excited, and you want to do a little more, and you want to do a little more. And that's the rabbit hole I've been in, doing a little more and continuing to learn. Continue every day. Someone I'm mentoring currently just asked me a question around what texts, what books do you read, or where do you get resources? And I said, I don't have one place. I have any question, I simply just go to Google and ask, what is this? Gives you hundreds of thousands of resources. Yeah. Google is your friend. I'm sure if you've heard that it's really true. You want to learn anything, simply ask Google. I say ChatGPT is there nowadays to even help you narrow your search, because with Google, I had to read all of, especially the links in the first page of the search result, practically step by step. And I quickly check, filter,
Wow.
filter them for relevance. because immediately I open the document, I know what I'm looking for. I want to learn about something, like scheme. If it's there, I stay there. I leave the tab open and I go to the other one and I open them all and read through them. But nowadays, you don't have to go through that because ChatGPT is there and you can ask and it can help provide you context, which is what I had to develop myself in the days before ChatGPT. Yeah. So you should
Yeah.
actually be friends with ChatGPT. Yeah? Get an account, open an account, interact with it. I want to learn this thing. What's the best way to do it? It gives you different steps. Follow through. So it's what Anita mentioned too. Follow through. It says step 1, step 2, step 3. Go to it because eventually it's going to ask you to do more learning. Because in the technology world you live in, there's no one answer to problems. No, you have to just continue learning. So it's not, for me, it's not a strategy. It's really just an action that you have to persistently commit to. Yeah, and that way you stay relevant, in any age or any time. Yeah, you will always stay relevant.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for that, John. So moving on, we also have some questions that were sent in from the participant. Question I would love to ask. I'll ask Anita this. I know she answered this when she first started speaking. The person asked, "I studied psychology. Yeah, I studied sociology in school, and getting a job hasn't been easy. So if I'm to come into tech, what roles should I consider?" So Anita, you can just repeat. Tell us a bit again. So before we move on from that.
Thank you, Omaka. And whoever asked this question is like, my heart. It's really, really interesting. Humanities, psychology, sociology, social work, and social administration, like all the humanities, anything that has to do with the people and the society and how things work. Like when we are studying in our courses, we learn there are skills that we pick up that I don't think any other courses pick this up. There's things like empathy and ability to apply what you like. Someone tells you their problem and you're already in their shoes. Like that is something very specific to people in the fields that are around humanities. We do a lot of research. Some of us do dissertations at the end of our degrees and our programs. There's a lot of problems solving skills that we gain during our courses and trainings. There's also something that I noticed. There's a lot of ethical considerations that come in during the programs we do because they have to do with humans. There's a lot of confidentiality. Like there's a lot of ethical things that bind us, having to work with people. So that really helps when it comes to things like product development, data analysis, for example, social media management. You can do human resource within a tech field, a tech firm, for example. You can join tech education and do some training. Product management, of course, up there. UX research, user experience research, where you are tracking product users and how they feel about the products you're producing, and then being able to implement that feedback in a way that will gain more traction with your product and newer clients. I think those are some of the fields you can get into. Let me just add some more fields for people who did things like English and English literature, places like that. You can join things like content and copywriting. I've seen a lot of it on LinkedIn. Many people are into SEO, content writing, how to write good content that will be picked up by the search engine and stuff like that. So it's really what you did. Sociology, it's such a, like, humanities get into fields that have to work with people. People who did like engineering, for us, you can work behind the desk. We understand you love it, but for us who work with people, we stick to the people. Yeah, I guess that's the way to go about it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Anita. So, John, I'll ask you this question. So, the person said, I look at my friends who picked up other careers, engineering, healthcare, finance, etc. They spend around 5 years learning their craft and now able to apply that knowledge for the rest of their lives, solving new problems with the same knowledge. Whereas the rest of us working in tech need to learn something new every day just to keep our jobs. How can we keep up with this?
I'm laughing because I wonder, maybe you take out engineer, you take out actually healthcare, all three that I have in this question. Engineering has changed. As in sustainability is now a core part of the energy sector. So any engineer who learned engineering, I studied electrical engineering, and sustainability wasn't a course when we were studying in school. Well, it might have been something we discussed in engineering in society, but it wasn't really, it wasn't anything we spent time on, trying to learn. Yeah. So engineers, if someone has told you that they stay 5 years without learning, it's I struggle to believe that they are growing and their organizations are growing. Yeah. Healthcare has changed too. The application of technology in the medical sciences is becoming more and more. So doctors have to learn how to grow with the field. So people learn. Finance is changing. The economy of the world is changing. Let's just even consider Nigeria alone. The economy has changed with the floating of the dollar, and the removing of subsidy. Finance has changed. And consistently, you're seeing technology play a significant role in driving these changes. It might be maybe in the last 10 years, somebody who studied in any of this field said to you that they didn't need to do any learning. But in the next 5 years, if they stay that way, I'll tell you to advise them not to stay that way, because it's dangerous to stay that way because they stop being relevant. If you have followed the move with this AI, and a lot of people are afraid that they're going to lose their job, the truth is, and I'll say this, that it's very, very unlikely that careers get entirely phased out. There will be career shifts. Yeah. When we were moving from horse carriages to cars, it did not mean that the people who were riding the horses were losing their jobs. No, you would lose your job if you continued to be a horse carriage rider and you were not looking for a way to learn how to drive a vehicle. That's a vehicle that was there. That's the only thing that would happen. So industrial revolutions have happened all through history. It will continue to happen in history. But the people who partnered with the new move always remained relevant. It's the same thing. And I mentioned this before: learning, 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 learning. So you learn, you unlearn, and you relearn. Those three things you can't stop. And it is regardless of the career or space that you work in. I said, engage any one of these people, especially in these three careers. And I don't know if there's anything that doesn't change, in life. It might be the basic arts of cleaning a house, mopping the floor. Those things are the things that don't change dramatically. But in the Western world, you have robo vacuums. Very soon, you're going to have robo stuff that will be mopping your floor for you. The question is really about the capacity for you to invest resources into it. Can I buy it? Is it right for me to buy it? But things continue to evolve. And as things evolve, people evolve too. So don't be deceived that somebody is staying without learning. I think you are in a better place learning. continue to learn. I think I shared my journey. If you were not on the call, I said it. I started with Visual Basic in writing software. But today we've moved way past Visual. If I write a code in a solution in Visual Basic today, there's nobody who is going to buy it with all the user experience, and user experience with Visual Basic was terrible. Yeah, as in it was even very difficult to change look and feel because we had a standard form creator that we had to use to build our forms, build our applications, and all. So the flexibility of trying to do curved edges when it comes to trying to appeal to your users' preferences and all, we couldn't do that. Simply used what we had, you know. But if we stayed there, then I wouldn't be relevant today. Yeah. The code languages that engineers write in today are languages I had to go and upgrade, because at a point in my career, I had to be doing code review too. And engineers were writing code in Node.js. I had to know what it is, you know. So you need to continue to learn. Yeah.
All right. Um, Thank you so much, John. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so I will throw this question to no one in particular.
Hello?
Okay, Anita, are you saying something?
No, no, sorry.
Okay, can you hear me? I couldn't hear anyone at the point.
No, I can hear
We
you.
can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. So all right. Okay. So I'll go on to pick this from the audience before we have like a 5 minutes break where we'll do like a game show. Now for these games we have prizes to be won. We're offering to give out we're offering to give out 3 scholarships to 3 people to learn any tech skill of their choice. Now, for that particular scholarship, that tech training costs 100,000 naira, but we'll be giving that out because you need it, or rather because you deserve it if you get to win something, and then it's very, very needed. Also, we'll be giving out about 40 coupons here for worth 10,000 naira each. So you could use them to take any of our crash courses or any course you find on our platform that you feel will be useful to you. So before we move on to that phase, we'd have one particular I'll take one question before we go on that break for about 5 minutes. So this question, I'm actually new to anything tech. I spent 4 years of my life studying microbiology. I've always been a fashion designer, but how to dive into the tech world and navigate is how I don't know. So John, Anita, any one of you can pick this up.
Okay. I will. I think these are 2 questions, one from Sharon, one from Kevin, which is good. And it
Yeah.
leverages what your experiences have been. And I like something Anita said, and I'll just repeat it. Do a self-analysis. You know, find out who you are. There are a number of psychometric analysis sites. Somebody could look for, I think, 16 personality is one that I use, you know, frequently with my teams, because everywhere I've walked in where I've had to lead the team, I have them do this analysis. Know yourself. It's the best way to figure out where you start from. I don't think that I can prescribe to you right now where to go. Once you know yourself, then those psychometric tests most times actually give you something close to a JD, you know, of who you are, what you can do, and they give you examples of those things. Then you now go, and it also mentioned this, you go and look for careers that align with that personality, because you want to express yourself. I'll use the example of a fashion designer. You have an instinct as a fashion designer, or you have learned the capacity to imagine what a piece of cloth would look like on somebody. You say to one person, this piece of cloth will be fantastic on you, and to another person, the same piece of cloth, you say to them, no, it wouldn't look. I would need to do adjustments in this way, this shape, this form. Yeah, that instinct is needed in tech. The journey of a user experience designer, a user interaction designer, user experience designer and user interaction, I actually just learned very recently how vastly different they are. And having worked at Primary Bid, where I currently work with a user interaction designer and another user experience designer, I'm like, oh no, I was actually missing user interaction design in all of my career so far until I met one of them in Primary Bid. The way they think, the way they bring to life conversations that we have. We have a 30 minutes conversation and the user interaction design goes to, do some stuff. Just draw simple maps, simple user journey maps. And I'm like, okay, I need you in my life because you make my life a lot easier. Yeah, that kind of thing. These are just ideas, but you need to find yourself. Yeah, and I will not assume who you are. You find yourself, and when you find yourself, you're able to define exactly what part. And it takes research. Yeah, don't let anyone tell you that this is who you should be. Find it yourself, because then you stay long there. I was in a chat with Amaka. I was saying to her that I always knew I was going to be in tech. Nobody had to tell me why. I had a passion to solve problems. The most effective way to solve and scale the solutions to problems in our world today is tech. When it stops being tech, trust me, I will be out of tech and be in whatever it becomes. Why? That is the passionate person that I am about finding solutions to problems. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's important that you find yourself, do the research, and start learning, based on the understanding that you get from who you are and your research findings.
All right. Thank you so much, John. So I believe that also answers Sharon's question, because she's asking what kind of tech space do you think I transitioned to being an estate management. And I can still remember when you first spoke, you spoke about the fact that we have facility managers and all of that. So I think that should also give a hint, and your current answer now also provides more hints and more answers to that as well. Okay, so Sharon, if that helps out, you can go ahead and let us know. So meanwhile, I spoke about a 5 minutes break. I know we have been talking about scaling our careers with technology and a lot of that. So this is just for 5 minutes before we come back to wrap it up. So like I said earlier, for this particular session, we're giving out three scholarships. So this could be a chance for you to learn and grow with us. And we're also giving out coupons to our crash courses as well. So the first game we'd have here is called rapid fire trivia. So we have 1 point for first correct answers and 0.5 points for second correct answers. And at the end of the day, we would have winners for this various sessions. And then before I forget, we have what we call also a raffle draw. So this raffle draw basically is for 10 people who would follow us on both LinkedIn and Twitter, and you have a chance to win this particular draw. And also there'll be a form in the chat. You get to fill that form so that at the end of the day we'll be able to reach out to you and give you your coupons just the way you want it. So for the first part, we have who painted the Mona Lisa? Who painted the Mona Lisa? That's the first question. So you can go ahead and drop your answers in the chats. I hope we're ready. Okay. I'm not seeing your answers. So the first question is, who painted the Mona Lisa? Please go ahead and drop your answers in the chats. We have about, okay. All right, I'm still waiting for that. So why that answer is coming up? I think second question is what is the capital city of Tokyo? Okay. I think we should be dropping our answers. Please drop your answers. Don't you want to win the scholarship? Actually, the scholarship is worth 100K, and then you have 3 months of intensive learning, and you get to work on a project. So at the end of the day, you have hands-on experience. You're not just learning theory. You still get to practice what you learned. Okay, I think we have an answer for the first question. Please, we have someone in the comment section to set. Second question I asked was, what's the capital city of Japan? Then the next next question is, in what year did World War I begin? Then symbol for the element gold. Then for this particular session, I believe everyone should know this. Who is the author of these? Then moving on, okay, yeah. So we still have 2 minutes for this session. So moving on, we're talking about lyrics. We're moving on the lyrics. So you're going to identify who sang the song, as well as like what's the name of the song, as well as the artist. This particular lyrics is I want to spend the rest of my life with you by my side. So who sang the song? What's the name of the song, and what's the name of the artist? For this particular session, you have 4 points. Meaning if you guess the name of the song, you have 2 points. So I said, I want to spend the rest of my life with you by my side. Please go ahead and drop the name of the artist as well as the name of the song. Then the next song is Ife Ife Ife, you're the apple of my eyes. Name of the artist as well as name of the song. Then also, I know I'm moving too fast, but it's because of the time constraint we have. Also, we have it's kind of hard to imagine, but I know you're out there. Name of the song as well as name of the artist. I have Esther on this call. I have Memuna, so you can go as well as you can go on to participate in this session. Then I think for here I will stop here. But when you touch me like this and you hold me like this, that's the last lyrics. When you touch me like this and you hold me, please go ahead to drop the name of the song as well as the name of the artist. So that should be going on. So thank you, John. So far, we have learned a lot. I've enjoyed this talk, and it has been interesting so far. So I have to go back to this. So I would ask, we have so many platforms out there to learn about tech and coming into tech. So what on your end, what platforms would you advise people to get into, and how should they go on about that?
So platforms, there are so many platforms. Better Copper is a platform that you can learn. So especially because platforms don't teach you as much as doing teaches you. Yeah. So Better Copper, for instance, and the associated platforms would give you the foundation understanding of what you need to be successful. But you need to do. Yeah. So I'd give you an example.
Yes.
I built a calculator. Yeah. I didn't have a market. I didn't know that people would need to use calculator. Calculators already existed now, right? Saying You even had the mechanical one that we
Yes.
held in our hands. Yeah. But I understood the importance of practicing, so I built it. I iterated on it. I started adding things to it. And the next thing I built was a notepad. And suddenly I started looking for internship opportunities. Once I got internship opportunity, I saw that the accounting division in that place where I was doing internship didn't have an inventory solution. So I started researching and learning, how do I build an inventory solution? I built an inventory solution for them. Another day I came into the office and somebody was walking the halls of the office and saying they are looking for this person because the person has a visitor. I said, oh, there's no visitor management stuff in this place. Build that too. Yeah. And as an intern engineer there, I had my day job was to convert hand drawings into engineering designs using AutoCAD, because I was studying electrical engineering then, and CAD designs were part of what I was learning, so I was already doing that. That was primary distance, but my primary assignment. But as part of my primary assignment, I was using the software that I had learned to put into practice some of the things that these people in that organization needed. You understand? So practicing is your best bet. That's if you ask of a platform, practicing is the best platform for learning. Um, I I am in the startup space, so from time to time, I personally have a number of startups that I'm either supporting actively or building per time. And I get young people who want to learn, to work with me. Most of the things that I'd done this thing without having to anybody pay me, but I think today the dynamics has changed and people just need to be paid or want to be paid. But I'd advise you to look into places and opportunities that you can just start practicing what you're doing. It's the best platform to learn. Yeah. Then use Google, use it a lot, use Chat GPT, use it a lot, ask a lot of questions. Yeah, and join all the different platforms that Metacopa has, for instance, because it will continue to churn out things that will be relevant to you. So, yeah, those things I think are valuable things beyond the platform. Get into doing, create a project. Anita mentioned write Hello World, for instance, if you're interested in doing the Hello World product. I can imagine the first time Anita launched the page, I can imagine the smile on her face because I had the same smile when I did it. I did that in HTML, I did that in Java. I didn't do that in Visual Basic because you don't really have most times a display screen. No, if I remember, I did that actually on a notepad, on sorry, on a label, so created a label and sent the command that on pressing a key, it should show hello world. So yeah, those exciting stuff. Now in different languages, did the same Hello World project, and the Hello World project was exciting. So practice, 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 please.
All right. So it's still practice. I think there's just one particular we take on here, then we'd have like a session where we get to like summarize all what we have spoken about today so that we can let Mr. John go. We have kept him here for about an hour. Then we can still proceed to go back to the games because we want you to win coupons. We want you to learn a lot of things as much as you can, and this is a valuable opportunity to do that as well. So this one question do a summary, then so you can go. Thank you so much, John. It says, I'm new to tech as well, done with SSC, and has gained an online certificate from Allison course, of which the course I learned is marine auxiliary engineering, pumps, fans, blowers, etc. And I'm looking at how cybersecurity will be useful for me in that space of work. Hmm. This is another angle entirely.
Yeah, entirely different fields. There are generally no associations between those fields. I would like, just like Ayodele, who was asked the question, to confirm: are you trying to learn cybersecurity? Um, because yeah, it will be the next question I would ask you if you said yes was why. You know, um, eh, have you heard something that's attached to you to that? As in, are you truly concerned and passionate about cybersecurity, i.e., protecting yourself on the internet? Yeah, and when I asked you that question, it's quite practical in the sense that how do you store your own passwords currently today? How do you, protect yourself on the internet? What are the measures that you have put in place? Because if you're just looking for it because it sounds like a very interesting career path to take, then you might want to, yeah, you might just want to rethink, that approach, and do what we said before. Evaluate: who am I? What do I have right now? And then what value can I deliver? Right now, if I understand from what you said you understand auxiliary, was that auxiliary what? Auxiliary engineering, marine auxiliary engineering.
I think
Yeah, what skills have you been able to get out of that? You know, then match it to available tech stuff. But I don't see any. There are no direct connections, if you ask me, between marine engineering and cybersecurity. Yeah, that's at least for the little I know about marine engineering. Yeah, unless in the part of marine engineering where you work in is preventing access to marine bodies, that unauthorized access to marine bodies. If that is it, then you might have some, yeah, you might have something around cybersecurity that you want to learn. But yeah, evaluate yourself first. Figure out: am I really passionate about keeping myself and other people around me safe online? Because that's really what cybersecurity is. And if you are passionate about that, then definitely you need to learn about it. Yeah, start take a basic course on Coursera, for instance, about it. Then I don't know if Better Copper has anything around cybersecurity yet, but if they don't have, some of the free platforms out, some of the learning platforms out there like Coursera, Udemy, are good places to go and try to learn basic. You will always have a beginner course there. And when you do that, you now look for other people who are currently practicing it. LinkedIn is a powerful place to connect, but every time you send an email to somebody on LinkedIn, have something that you have already done. Don't expect that the person you're sending out the email to is going to help you with everything. Like ask a question around what should I be reading. Ask valuable. Here's what I've done. Here's what I need, and here's how I believe you can help. Those things help, make your conversation with those anyone you're seeking mentorship from a lot more productive. Yeah. I don't know if I've helped out daily, but if not, you can just
all right.
clear the question. Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, you have helped a lot, like from your answers, your response, advice given so far. Even I myself have learned a lot from you. At least we have settled on a particular fact. Tech is ever evolving, but still the best way to get ahead is to keep learning and practicing, because with tech you see results, and then it's more satisfying when you see results, which is a very beautiful thing. And also on this call, I have Esther. We for this particular event, we partnered with JCI Unilag, that is Junior Chambers International Unilag, to have this event. So we have a vast number of students here, both undergraduates and final year students on the call as well. I don't know, Esther, would you like to say anything? Memunat is not connected, so there's no way she can speak on the call. Esther, can you hear me?
Yes, I am Aka. Good evening. Good evening, Jay. Good evening, Alinta. It's so good to be here. So, hi everyone. My name is Esther Adiola Amusho. I am Director of Programs and Projects at JCI Unila. Can you hear me, Amaka? Just confirm so you can hear me before I proceed.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yes, thank you. So, I'm Director of Programs
Yes,
and
I can
Projects
hear
at
you. You can go
JCI.
on.
I'm Director of Programs and Project at JCI Unilag, and it's so good to be here learning. I've learned so far from the speakers, and I hope everyone here to like takes out like very important things for what they've said. So aside being a student, I'm also like into tech. I'm a product manager, and so I could relate to a lot of things that Anita and Jay have been saying since morning. So yes, that's just it. Thank you, and it's so good to be here.
Wow.
I am Amaka, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, Esther. You can go on.
I
Yes,
think she's fine.
don't yeah, I'm done speaking. Amaka, yes.
All right. Sorry, I had a break in transmission here. Okay. So thank you, Esther. So thank you so much, Jay. I have John's LinkedIn handle here. So it's been dropped in the chat session. So you can go ahead and follow John. At, at least you can learn one or two from him when he drops post on LinkedIn. And you, as you can see, or as you have learned today, he has a vast knowledge and he has shared so much with us. And I really appreciate you for being on this call. Like when I was on the outlook for speakers, I was all in my mind. I was like, okay, how am I going to get speakers for this event? And when you sent the message, I was like, wow, wow. I really appreciate having you on this call. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for spending 1 hour with us. So thank you so much. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't
happy,
want to
happy,
hold you again on the call since we're giving.
happy to be here. Happy to contribute. And yeah, please, any questions, just send me a message on LinkedIn. Happy to answer your questions, and yeah, glad to help in any way that I can in your journey.
All right. So thank you so much, John. So basically, we'll be going back to the trivial, the game sessions, so that we can finish that up and wrap up the event. So at this point, John, if you want to leave us, it's totally fine. We've already taken 1 hour of your time, which we appreciate. If you want to stay with us, it's also fine. But thank you once again for being here.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you very much. I will drop off. Yeah. Take care, everyone.
All right. Take care. Thank you. All
Thank you,
right.
Bye,
John.
John. Thank you, John.
Okay, so for this session, Anita would have to come on board with me. I know when we started off with the games, it was quite we had the first 5 minutes out to on ease to make you feel at ease with this. So with this particular session, we'd have about 10 minutes to spend here. So now, like I
Yeah.
earlier said, we have Anita, are you here? Do you want to say
Yes, I'm here. I'm
something?
with you. Um,
Oh, okay.
there's this question I remember from the questions we received about how to, let me look at it very clearly, how to increase your employability as someone in university. You're just finishing, you literally just have your paper and not like no experience to show for it. And can I answer that?
Okay, you can go ahead and answer that before we start the
Yes.
games.
Yes. So I think the thing to do when you have your paper and you have nowhere to begin, uh, like first of all, get a LinkedIn account. Like it's no joke. I got my LinkedIn account when I was still in university. I didn't even know what LinkedIn was, but I saw it. I created an account. I didn't know how to post to LinkedIn. I didn't know anything. But now, looking back, I'm like, I slacked so much because there's so many things to learn, even on LinkedIn itself. Because people post like literal gems on LinkedIn. Like in one LinkedIn post, you can learn something you've never considered, you've never thought about it in that way. Like it opens your mind to new perspectives and new ways to think. Get on LinkedIn, get into networks, because this student you're studying with, the person you were with in class, this person you met on this call, you never know. I've had people say, oh, we're both, for example, I'll use the product management field. We're both in product management. I got a gig, I can't do it because I'm busy working on something. Uh, and they'll call the manager of the other organization and be like, yo, there's this person I know. They have the skills you're looking for. They literally do exactly what I do. They are just not me because I'm working on this different project. And just like that, you have a gig because someone recommended you and because you do your networking well. For those in areas like UX, things that need projects, have a portfolio of your work. It can be one or two major projects. Whenever I work for a client, if you have any, it doesn't matter how big or small it is, just add it as a page on your portfolio. It builds your confidence as a person, and it increases your personal growth. Get on personal projects that are around your passion. Build your confidence with soft skills, things like communication skills, negotiation skills, um, like soft skills like that. And I think Amaka will be having some of these on Beta Copper as crash courses. We'll have them coming up very, very soon on Beta Copper. So you'll be able to know how to use the skills right and increase your employability. And whenever you can, embrace um, internships and volunteer work, because like John mentioned earlier, see a problem, fix it, and you're increasing your retention. Like you'll be retained in that organization just because you built a solution to a problem they had. So it increases your chances of being retained in that particular organization because of a problem you solved, basically. So keep learning, keep growing, keep networking, and have something to show for your work. One more thing, for those who are self-taught, get certified with the courses. Mr. John was mentioning, please get a course, for example, get a certificate in that skill. If it's digital marketing, get a certificate that has digital marketing on it. So it adds credibility to your work. And yeah, that's it for that question. We can head into games and have some fun.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much, Anita, for that. So, guys, there's a link that is going to be dropped right now in the chat. It's more or less a Google form. Now, what we want you to do with that form is please go ahead and fill those details because it will be useful when we want to award you your different coupon codes, and then we'll also announce the winners for the scholarships by link. Go ahead and fill that form. Would have about two links being dropped in. One is for you to fill and give a feedback. The second one is for you to subscribe and win a coupon code worth 10,000 naira. Now that particular one for the coupon code, it will take the first 20 people to fill that form. So the first 20 people to fill that form will get a coupon code out to you. So please go ahead and fill the forms you will see in the chat. So now back to the the games, social media handles, and also those handles as we proceed. So, as much as possible, try to follow up with links to our different social media handles, as well as keep up with the games because in
All
all
right.
you get to win a lot of things, and we don't
Yeah.
want you to miss out on this if you win something. We can't
Wait.
bring this and take
Yeah.
this back with us as well.
Yeah.
So
We can't do that.
back to Anita, are you here? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
So
I can hear you.
okay, so yeah, Anita, you're going to help me out with something. I shared a particular you have a particular link with you, so please you would I'll take the first part of the trivia games. I'll go back so that I can pick up from where we left. Then you can go on
Mhm.
to help us with let's the lyrics part. That's game two where we talk about
Okay.
the songs. So
Okay.
now back to all right, thank you. So back to trivia session. So for this session, the rules of the game is 1 point for the first correct answer, then 0.5 points for the second correct answers. So for the next question, I'm asking which famous playwright wrote plays like Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet? So which famous playwright wrote plays like Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet? So please go ahead and drop your answers in the chat. It's very important.
I
So
delete
which
this paper.
playwright
Mhm.
wrote Romeo and Juliet as well as Hamlet? So please start dropping. I'm not go on. You can do this. Please go on, drop your answers, drop your answers. Want to see your answers quickly. Okay.
Just
Okay. So. Okay. I think comments are already coming in. So I'll move on to the next question, which says, "What is the largest mammal on Earth? What is the largest mammal on Earth?"
oh,
So, what is the largest mammals on Earth? Thank you. So I'm seeing, a lot of people are dropping their answers. Please go ahead and drop your answers. Don't run away from this session. You have something to win. You have something to win. So please go ahead and drop that. Then the next question here is, what is the smallest prime number? Everybody should win this. So what is the smallest prime number? Rather, everybody should get the answer to this particular question. So okay, seeing your questions coming. Okay. So please keep on. Go ahead. Drop your answers. Drop your answers. The next one I would ask is, what does Wi-Fi stands for? We have all been using Wi-Fi. You share Wi-Fi on your phone. So what does Wi-Fi stand for? What does Wi-Fi stand for? And okay, so before we move on, social media links are being dropped now. 10 people, sorry, 5 people are going to win. Okay, am I correct? Okay, sorry, 10 people here. So this is going to be like a raffle draw. We're going to have 10 lucky people who follow us on both LinkedIn and Twitter stand a chance to win coupons for our crash courses. So the links are currently being dropped in the chats. So please go ahead and follow us. Fill the forms you see in the chat so that we'll know that we'll be able to trace you and award you this coupon codes. So we'll pick 10 lucky people for this raffle door. And I think with that, my session has come, my path has come to an end. I think Anita can move on to the next part.
yes, we are going to the lyrics. Please drop the artist's name of song and the artist who sang this song. The first one is exciting. I love it too. Our Lord Jesus is our ladder. You people better get this one. Our Lord Jesus is our ladder. Um, that one, name of song, name of artist. You all better get on this. The second one is, now the way you do the things you do, it be like say you get plans for you and me. This is a Nigerian song. Please don't disappoint me. One more time. Now the way you do the things you do, it be like say you get plans for you and me. Okay, that is song number 2. Song number 3 is I've done all right up till now. It's the light of the day that shows me how. I'll say that again. I've done all right up till now. It's the light of the day that shows me how. The next one is by the end of the night, enter bathroom, fresh up. Please, you better not disappoint me. I go cry. I'll cry. Okay. We have this one. It says, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Anyone winning these things? I'm not seeing the answers come up. Let's see. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. I'm going to try and redo some of these, the ones I've mentioned, so that we get them right. One of them was our Lord Jesus is our ladder. That's the first one. The second one was I've seen answers for this one, so I won't do that again. Oh, someone got that one. Okay. The next one is na small thing remain, could have been all over. Na small thing remain, could have been all over. I don't know how that connects. The artist, please don't forget the artist of the song, the name, the person who sang the song or wrote the song, because that earns you 2 bonus points. If you get the song right, you get 2 points. If you get the title right and the name of artist right, you get 4 points. So please, let's get these points so that we can win our big scholarship. For the follows, you get 10. We're giving out 10 coupons, right, Amaka? Yeah, Amaka went away. Okay, I'm going to add one more to the list. One more song to the list. Even if I was wrong, you know I'm never wrong. Why disagree? Even if I was wrong, you know I'm never wrong. Why disagree? That's another song. Please get the answers in. Let's see. Okay. I'm seeing answers coming in. Keep them coming. Yes, we need the forms filled so that we can get your information and follow through with our promise. We don't want to be.
Anita, but I'm seeing some people say that the link is broken or something. I don't know if that can be checked.
Which link is broken? Let me
To
check
the
that
form.
out.
Can you can just check the comment to see? Yes.
Let me get on that really quick. I'm getting my LinkedIn so that I have the links handy. Let's see. Let me get on that really quick. All right. Okay, let's really quick. I'm on this. I got you. Oh, wait. Which link is, could it be the form link? Let me see. really quick. Yeah, please keep answering the questions while I fix the link. I'm going to drop it in the I'm going to drop it in the comment section myself. Um, please keep the answers coming in, and let's get on this real quick. Wait.
So hi guys. So I'll I think the social media links have been dropped. So please go in and Twitter. So like we said earlier, we
So
have
apparently
10
one of them
people
is
who will be
broken.
lucky.
So
We'll
I
pick
don't
10
know
people
which
from
one.
a raffle draw from people who followed us. Okay.
So Amaka. So someone is saying one of the links is broken. I'm not sure which one. Let me scroll up and see. If anyone is hearing me right now, can you state clearly which one is broken so that we can fix it, please?
Okay.
Please
So
specify which
I
one.
understand you're seeing different links. It's because which is not. So please go ahead and I think the first link you should look out for is the link for the wait list and the feedback list. Very important. Please go ahead and fill those two. Then also follow us on social media so that we'll be able to pick our winners
Yes.
from the followers on LinkedIn as well as Twitter.
Yeah.
Anita, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. You have new comments.
The
Yes, I can hear
scholarship.
you,
Now, our
Amaka.
next cohort would be. Oh, all right, good. Okay. So for those that win the scholarship, our next cohort will be in November. So we'll reach out to you before November, and then endeavor to follow our social media pages so that you would be aware when that cohort would start, and you can join as well as invite your friends to join.
Yeah.
So I think
Uh,
so that's it. So please
okay. Yes, Twitter
guys, go ahead and
broken.
fill this form. So thank you so much for joining the call. Once we wrap up for this session, I believe it has been an interesting session. Anita, has the session been so far?
Oh, the session has been so good. Like I've learned so much myself. Yeah, I think we should do more of these. What do you think? Yeah, I've loved today's session. It was really good and informative, and yeah, it was a good one. Yes,
All
please follow us on our social
right.
media.
Okay, so thank you so much. So thank you everyone for this session. Like I said, it was really informative. Thank you, Esther, to all members of the JCI on this call. Thank you so much. We'll get across
Thank you,
to you,
Amaka.
communicate with you
It's so good to
guys
be here.
because we need to get this going. Please follow. All right. Please follow the link we have in the chat. Join our Discord so that we get all prices across. Thank you so much for a wonderful session. Bye. So bye Anita, bye Esther. Bye
Bye. Have a good evening.
Bye.
It was
everyone.
fun, right? Bye.
Bye.